Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another In the Cards and Stars Tarot Tea Time podcast episode. How's it going, everybody? Okay, so I see we already have Penny D in here, Chrissy, Gigi, Gunyar. Oh my gosh, you guys are the real ones. Okay, showing up 2 nights in a row. You guys are the best. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. We're doing a little bit of toxic tarot tea, if you guys couldn't tell by the thumbnail. So get ready because we are spilling it. Oh my gosh, Penny, I just want to say, you guys, shout out to Penny. Penny, thank you so much for your generous donation towards Jacob and his care. That is the dog that we pulled from Dallas Animal Services on, I think it was Sunday morning now. It's all jumbling together, or Sunday afternoon. He's had his first bath. He's like feeling good. He's starting to love life. He's opening up. I've been getting updates from Dallas, and you guys, I'm so happy. So thank you for supporting him. And if you guys still want to be able to support him and you want to spill the tea about what your summer has in store for you, I posted about it on the community tab, but you can send me a DM at Brit Madrid or an email at britcardsandstars@gmail.com, and we can get you a little reading going. So, okay, now that the business is out of the way, let's talk about this episode. Oh my God. Okay, guys. So, yes, I wanted to be a little toxic today. Okay. We're about to go on vacation. Let's throw caution to the wind, feeling that summer energy. And Sabrina Carpenter's latest album, I mean, it's just the controversies everywhere. You guys have seen it, I'm sure. The album cover is quite what can we even say about it? There People are divided. Okay. Some people say that the cover art is like her being that, just that joking sense of humor that she has that's very tongue in cheek, kind of in your face. Other people feel like it's just a little too raunchy. I want to pull some cards before we get into this because she is the one that inspired this whole podcast episode. So I do want to pull a card to see like what her album is going to be like, if it's going to be accepted, if people are going to love it. So we're going to start with a little bit of Sabrina tea. Then we're going to move on to the two people that this is rumored to be about. We're going to pull some cards on their red flags, and we may even pull up a birth chart or two. So let's get into it. All right. So first of all, Sabrina Carpenter and her new album, Man's Best Friend. Okay. I do understand who Sabrina Carpenter is. I do understand that, that's her sense of humor, I guess. I also feel like it was a little bit of a, I don't know, low-hanging fruit, like a little too easy. Like maybe she's being a little too on the nose lately, and she could have done it in a way that I don't know, it's a little bit less degrading. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on the Sabrina Carpenter album cover controversy. And what are you guys saying? Let me catch up before I start pulling cards. Let's see what everyone's saying. Oh, Chrissy wants to know about Shawn. Okay, we will include a little bit of Shawn. Oh, wait, a collaboration? Okay. You know what, Chrissy? I thought they were gonna do a collaboration, like, I think, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times ago when I've pulled on Shawn. I do not think that's out of the question. I could completely see Shawn and Camila just doing a little bit of a, I don't know, just maybe collabing on a new song, cross promoting, because I think that both of them realized they were most successful when they were together and recording songs together. We do love to see them together. People are fascinated with them. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi. Okay, she's here. Oh my God, Gunyar, you're so cute. She's here. Okay. Hi, Gunyar. I hope you're doing well. Also, we can look at Luke's overall energy. Oh, I put Luke on the thumbnail for you, Gunyar. I was like, this is on our list. We got to look at Luke. Um, See if he's breaking up for Antonia this year. I think he's going to, but yes, we're going to talk about his red flags. We're going to pull some cards on him. Any chance? Okay. All right. Okay. We'll pull those. Penny is not impressed. Oh my God, Penny, who are you not impressed by? Oh, Sabrina Carpenter's cover. Yeah. I don't like it. I do not like it, but y'all probably aren't too surprised to hear that from me. Y'all know I'm a Virgo sun. So no shocks here. Okay, Sage says, I low-key think Sabrina is a stunt queen. Okay, Sage. I like you're bringing in a different perspective. She gives modern day Madonna and Britney meets Xtina. Oh, so I don't mind it. Okay, Sage. Interesting. I think she's funny and wants to send people into a tizzy for sales. There you go. Okay, a balanced point, a balanced argument for, the other side, which I think is good. So, okay, I like that. I like that. So maybe she's just a stunt queen and this is all part of her master plan. Okay. So let's pull some cards to see how is this album going to be received. They just got 3 billion streams for the song Senorita, Chrissy says. What? What do you mean? But they released it so long ago. You mean like it finally hit like a new record or something after all this time? Chrissy, I need the tea. Hi, Babaloo. Welcome. Okay. Sabrina Carpenter's new album. How is it going to be received? I've also heard rumors that Taylor Swift has a song that she collaborated with her on this album. So, like, that would be a huge deal, I'm sure. How is Sabrina's album going to be received? Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Okay, the King of Pentacles. I think it's going to make some money, honey. I think people are going to be streaming it. People are going to be, people who are in a position of power, this like King of Pentacles energy, they may even offer her some sort of deal. Let's get an additional, let me see. Oh my God, sorry. I'm like scratching my legs. We were just outside with the pups and like the mosquitoes are awful. Ugh. Like so itchy. Sorry, guys. King of Pentacles. Let me get a clarifier. The Hermit. Okay, interesting. Interesting. The Hermit is the Virgo card. Mars is moving into Virgo tomorrow. I don't know. Does this have any sort of astrology tie-in? What's going on here? I need more clarity. For Sabrina Carpenter's album, how are the sales going to be? How is it going to be received? Six of Pentacles. Okay, well, it's going to do really well. It's going to do really well. I think also, so the Six of Pentacles is about like friends and gifts. So like Taylor Swift, we've heard that she has a collab on the album. I think there may be other people who are also collaborating on the album. This is going to be, I think, really, really well received. I think people are going to love it. Six of Pentacles, people are like bringing gifts, paying money to see this. I mean, she may end up doing like a lot of sales when it comes to other things as well, like merch surrounding this. I mean, this is going to be, I think, a whole vibe. So yes, it started out very controversial, but as Sage Moon mentioned, it's possible that this was a big stunt that people are going to eventually get on board with once they hear the songs. So I think that this may be like an unfolding kind of story. Like maybe there's something that we don't see now that it's kind of in our faces, but maybe she even talks about that in one of the songs, like really gets honest about like kind of there's like a feminist sort of tone because we have the Hermit here and this is like your true thoughts, your inner thoughts. Virgo is about healing as well. So this Hermit energy, this could be something that surprises us, like an idea or some sort of message that she ends up pushing with this album that none of us really realized that she, I don't know, that she thought or that she had within her, but it's going to be some sort of deep, like philosophical concept. So, we may forgive her once we see all of the songs that are actually on the album. So very interesting. I was not expecting that. And then the King of Pentacles, I think it's going to do really well. And I think that they're executives, and I don't know exactly how the music industry works. I would have to ask my brother who, humble brag, I'm so proud of him, who is now in the music industry. So I don't know exactly how it works, but there is somebody that she either works with or who, works for her company who's going to be extremely happy about this. And she may even get additional offers from this person. So I see a lot of wealth and abundance and a message that she feels really good about. Could be a super healing message, something empowering. Okay. I like that. All right, Sabrina. I like it. Okay. What are you guys saying? Hi, Tracy. Welcome. Penny says, yeah, my granddaughter's excited about her album. Oh, that's so cute. I don't think S&C would do a collab if she breaks up with, oh wait, I only think S&C would do a collab if she breaks up with Henry. Yeah. I mean, based on our reading from last night, you guys, with him being like the emperor, I don't think he'd be about it. Claire Cardi. Yay. Good morning to you, Claire. How's it going? Oh my God. I'm so happy you're here. This has been a record. I'm so glad. Okay. So very interesting. Sage says, yep, I get the vibe that she wants to cause controversy and for people to have commentary about the album. I also think some people might be triggered by some of the things she talks about. I think you're right, Sage. And I think that is probably where the Hermit card comes into play because I'm sure you know, as a Virgo sun, that Virgos can, they heal, but they also are here to separate like the wheat from the chaff, the good from the bad. Cassie's a Virgo. She's the one that set off the whole P. Diddy investigation and really got the ball rolling with everything that's going on now. So Virgos can be that silent, like you kind of don't see it coming, but it can really shake things up. They can really shake things up. There's like a quiet sort of honesty and a power that can come through. So I feel like her album might have some really serious tones. Very interesting. I'm excited to see. I am excited to see what she has cooking up. Okay. Gunyar says Sabrina is going to be successful for a long time, I think. Okay, I think your intuition is probably correct on that. I would agree. Okay, next up. So we are going to be talking about since her album is all about men and, the vibe is of her first single, Manchild, which is the background that I used for this thumbnail. I put the background that is actually the billboard up in LA of the Manchild single. And she was, of course, supposedly talking about either Shawn Mendes or Barry Keoghan. Now, we're not going to talk about her relationship with them right now because we've already done that. But what I want to do is look into some of their toxic traits. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be a little snarky, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to look at some of the more toxic aspects of their birth charts and of, the tarot, see what the tarot has to say. So first, let's pull up Shawn Mendes, I think. I think that'd probably be the best one. So let me just get his chart loaded up. We need that elevator music. Now, one of the things that I have just noticed about him is that he seems to have this very hard to pin down sort of energy about him. Even to where sometimes it's like he doesn't really even know, what he wants right now. And he's talked about that. But of course, if you're someone dating him, like Sabrina back in the day, that could be something that's very confusing for people. So just taking a quick look at his birth chart, we see that he is a Leo sun. His moon is in Aquarius. Okay, first red flag. Oh, and disclaimer, you guys. This is just a little bit of snarky astrology, a little snark astrology. If you have any of these placements, please know I am not talking about you. Astrology is complicated, and I am literally just for fun, for entertainment purposes, looking at just some of like the tabloid reports and things that we've seen about Shawn and about these other people that we're going to talk about. And just based on some of like, the things that we know about the zodiac signs, if they are in their most toxic form, how that could play out. It's all speculation. And feel free to weigh in with any of your stories of toxic people that you've dated with certain zodiac signs. We'll call it a catharsis. Okay. So, Moon in Aquarius, this is the first thing that gives me some pause. So, people with Moon in Aquarius, especially men, they can have a very detached air about them. Now, with Shawn Mendes having that warm Leo sun energy, when you probably first meet him or in like the same room with him, having a conversation, there's probably a real warmth and a charisma because Leos can be extremely generous. I mean, they're ruled by the sun. They have big hearts. They're known for like that lion heart kind of energy, the king and queen of the jungle. So, like, there is this charisma, this kindness, this generosity. But then when you get to know him a little bit better, this is why I think she may think that he's a man child, allegedly. When you get to know him a little bit better, the moon is what starts to come forward. And this is with anybody that you spend time with, because the moon is our deeper emotions that, takes a second to kind of get to know someone, right? So then once you get to know him better, it goes from the warmth of the sun to the coldness of Aquarius. And Aquarius can be very strategic, very, it is an air sign, so they can be hard to pin down. Aquarius tends to move from one thing to the next. They're the water bearer, so they can hold emotions, they can hold water and emotions, but they don't necessarily feel them the way that others do. And to have your moon, which is like this watery emotional placement, in a more in a sign that's a little bit colder and a little bit harder to pin down, that could explain why he's able to move from one seemingly very deep relationship to the next. I would guess that other people may bond more deeply with him than he bonds with them. There's a little part of him that he's able to keep separate with that Aquarius moon, but you wouldn't know it because the Leo sun is just so warm and inviting and fun to be around. So I think Sabrina probably fell pretty head over heels for him and was shocked when she found out that he had been, making out with Camila Cabello. And allegedly she did find that out just like in the tabloids, like everybody else. So it's a little wild. Okay, wait, what are you guys saying? Let me check in. Mm-hmm. Yep, wrapped in her brand. Oh, okay. Yeah, cute. Exactly. The wittiness for sure, Sage. Okay, Gunyar says Sabrina's a Taurus like me. Ooh, I didn't know you were a Taurus. Fantastic. If we have if we've had enough, we are reacting in a sarcastic way. Manchild video is a type of thing that I can say, yes, I probably would shade them like that too. Okay, good. So good to know. Taurus can be a little shady when over it. Taurus is the bull. And yeah, if you push a bull too far, what are you going to get? The horns. Okay. So I think this album might just be us getting the horns. And I think we're going to love it. All right. So moving on. That Aquarius moon, a little bit of coldness, able to hold water, but maybe not feel it yourself. So this can also explain the ability to, write beautiful songs and to see the emotions in others, like Camila Cabello, for example, who I think is extremely emotional in a very real way. Um, to see that and maybe even mirror it at times. It can be, it's so interesting. Okay. Other things that give me pause that could indicate that he's a man child. Venus and Mars both in Cancer. Now, Cancer is the sign of the mother or the father. However, when not expressed in the most mature way, it can also go from like mother father energy to like little baby energy. And I would not be surprised if, it were to be the real very real case that he is just kind of a little bit of a baby. Sorry, because Cancer is the crab, and they'll go into their little shell if they're hurt or if they're annoyed. And so communication isn't always their strong suit, especially when pushed, especially when they feel attacked. They get their little crab shell on and they just gone. You don't see them again. And I think that with Shawn, sometimes rather than have a conversation or, disappoint someone, like with, when he was kind of juggling Camila and Sabrina, rather than have that conversation, it is possible for a Cancer to just go in the little crab shell and just ignore the world. And then if you also have the Aquarius moon, it's just like, where'd he go? It's a mystery. A lot of mysterious energy, not a lot of forthrightness. And that's enough to drive a person crazy and enough to make you write a song about him. Other than that, he does have his Saturn in Taurus, I mean, very interesting that is a Saturn conjunct Sabrina Carpenter's Taurus sun. Sun conjunct Saturn can feel constraining. It can feel like a level up sometimes, like maybe you feel inspired by the Saturn person or vice versa. Because the energy highlighted is hard work and shining and learning through hard work. So it's possible that they both inspired each other to like work harder. It can also be a placement where there's some sort of long standing tie. Hence, maybe she was inspired to write a song about him. Maybe she was pushed to write several songs on this album about him. And so that inspired her to like work really hard. So, there can be a good thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's painless. So that's the other little red flag. But, other than that, pretty harmless. It's not like evil, it's just man-child. You know what I mean? All right, let's pull a couple cards to see what are Shawn Mendes' red flags, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Shawn Mendes' red flags in dating and relationships, according to the Tarot T, in honor of the song Manchild. Let's see. Toxic traits. Oh, there we go. 7 of Wands. When at his worst, He has several irons in the fire, if you know what I mean. And this is what I'm talking about when I when I say his Leo sun is so incredibly warm. I forgot to mention that Leo suns also really love attention. They thrive off of it, right? Like Leo placements, they're the sun, they shine and they shine indiscriminately. And so the more love they get, sometimes they're just like, "Okay, I'll accept it. I'll accept attention from you and you and you." And then with a detached Aquarius moon, that can get toxic really fast. So the 7 of Wands tells me that yes, in the past, I'm not saying necessarily now, but in the past, especially around the time Manchild was written, he may have been talking to several people, getting attention and enjoying, maybe texting with several people, flirting, whatever, and just yeah, kind of been somebody with a lot of irons in the fire. I'll just leave it at that. You guys know what I mean. Look at all these people just fighting for his attention. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing too shocking. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. What else? What are his other red flags? The lovers. Yep, there you go. Shawn Mendes, known for having several lovers. Oh my God, you guys, the 7 of Wands and the lovers card. I'm sorry. It is really hard for him to be faithful. It is, allegedly for entertainment purposes only here. It is really hard for him to be faithful, at least at this stage of his life. I don't think he's interested in that right now. I don't think that's anything we're going to see from him in the near future. 7 of Wands, he likes to have people competing for him. He has several people that he's talking to at once. And the lovers card, yeah, a few lovers in the Rolodex. So definitely, if you were to be in a relationship with him, you would probably be like one of many. And I think Sabrina figured that out. And allegedly, that's why she wrote Manchild. Oh my God. Okay. Nothing too shocking here, but nice to have the stars and cards confirm it. Okay. Moving on to Barry Keoghan. What is Barry's, what is his deal? What are his red flags? I mean, we've talked about him before, but not in the light of just pure red flags. So let's pull up his birth chart and see what the stars have to say about him. Okay, so he was born in Dublin, Ireland on the 18th. So he's a 9 energy. Okay. So he's probably had some pain in his past at some point, which we have heard some sad things about him. I think he lost his mother at a fairly young age. He has a child, but he's not with the mother of his child anymore. And there's also been like a lot of talk about, and Claire, you kind of weighed in on that a while back about how he's had other people, say that he's been drinking too much and like spotted at different bars. So he's got a little bit of reputation as a man about town. That's a little bit of a man-child behavior. But he has his sun in Libra and his moon in Cancer. Okay, couple red flags here. A little bit of a man-child situation because Libras are all about, being charming. A Libra sun man, when he is a man-child, let me just specify that. This is, of course, we're talking about the lower manifestation. They're so incredibly charming that similar to the Leo sun that Shawn Mendes has, they can also just sweet talk their way into, any conversation, any sort of situation. They are able to harmonize and bring people together and they look good doing it. They know how to dress, they know how to walk, they know how to talk. And that can definitely get a lot of women caught up. Then with the Cancer moon, very emotional. This is the type of person that would probably take you on like a picnic and have an emotional conversation about like poetry or something. Like I'm telling you, Libra sun, Cancer moon, Casanova, Casanova energy. So this is sort of getting caught up in a dreaminess in maybe something that's not entirely real. It's also like kind of a fantasy land. He also has his Mercury and Venus in Scorpio. Okay. There you go. So that's the underworld. So the way that he thinks with Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio is probably very different from the way that he presents with his sun in Libra and moon in Cancer. Really, the more I look at birth charts, when I'm looking for like, toxicity or doing a reading like this, you can always see it when there is a huge difference between like their outer presentation and like their inner self or how they feel on the inside. Because, as long as you're yourself, you're good, right? The man child energy comes in when there is this lack of being themselves. There's like either they're not confident enough to just be honest or they're trying to pull one over on somebody. Both are pretty immature ways to go about life. And so I think that's where we get that. For him, though, it is this deep, Mercury and Venus and Scorpio. This is like taboo. This is the underworld. So he probably has, it's gonna sound kind of bad, but like some dark thoughts. He's probably very complicated, very intense. Now, you wouldn't really know this based on his Libra sun, even his Cancer moon once you get to know him, because Cancer moons are very warm, very loving. So I could see why Sabrina would like date him, get involved, and then it wouldn't work out down the line if she wasn't able to get on the same page as that Mercury and Venus in Scorpio, because that is just very intense. Venus in Scorpio is also very possessive. Um, Hard to satisfy if they're in that lower energy of, the red flag zone. So, yeah, just a lot of complicated energy swirling around him. He also has his North Node in Sagittarius. So, he is here to be free. He wants to be free. I mean, he's the archer. He wants to just like ride around and be free and travel to far flung places and think big thoughts and just there is this desire to be fully free and like on your own. And so that can create a man child energy because again, people fall in love with him. I think he probably loves that and he lays it on really thick. And then before you know it, he's gone with that North Node in Sagittarius. Before you know it, he's calling you from a different country and you didn't even know he was leaving town. You know what I mean? So that is the vibe I get from his birth chart. Let's pull a couple cards to see what his man child energy is according to the tarot T. Claire says, I'm still here, just putting on makeup. Oh my God, Claire, we love it. I love that we're getting ready with you this morning. Yes, he has a bad rep, but was put into care as a child. So home to home, which is sad. Yes, Claire. Oh my God. Okay, Claire, thank you for like adding that layer because I think the Mercury in Scorpio and the Venus in Scorpio, that really does. Yeah. And then the Chiron and Leo, Leo is like feeling special. So Chiron and Leo would be like having the wound of never feeling special, never feeling like you are on the receiving end of like generosity. That is so sad. Honestly, I do hope that he like heals and gets love. And the same with everybody, this is all in good fun. But yeah, the Mercury and Venus and Scorpio, Scorpio energy, typically it comes from going through some sort of difficulty in life and being born on the 18th with 9 energy, transformation. So that's going through some intense things in life to develop your character and your spirit. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it also makes sense why he would have some darker thoughts and fears and maybe a little bit of possessiveness. He may be one of those people that never settles down based on everything going on in his birth chart, but also someone who will never really be lonely, if you know what I mean. So there you go. Hopefully he's happy, whatever he chooses. And is just honest with people. But let's see. What are Barry Keoghan's red flags? Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Oh my God. Hi, Julie. Yay. We missed you too. Glad you're here. Penny says dark stuff. It is a little dark. It is. Gunnar says people are also saying the song might be about Barry. He had a rumor that he cheated on Sabrina with some Instagram TikTok model, which if true, he really fumbled. Yeah. Oh my God, Gunnar. Dang. Well, we'll see what the cards have to say. So sad. I do remember hearing that rumor that he cheated too. Okay. Barry Keoghan's red flags, allegedly. What are his red flags? What makes him a man child, I should say. The King of Cups. Stop it. Oh my God. He falls in love too easily and too quickly. This could also be like love bombing somebody. I mean, the King of Cups in the position of red flag, this is someone who's like, and I think he probably really believes it at first with his moon in Cancer. So this would be like going all in and being like, I want to be with you forever. I want us to get married, like wanting to have a commitment, like following somebody around, like just all in. But it might not be fully real. Like, okay, so that's one of the other things about Scorpio placements, especially Venus in Scorpio or Mercury in Scorpio. They can go all in and get committed before they even really know a person. And that is one of the red flags because then eventually, they kind of realize that this isn't who they thought it was while they're still kind of developing and like growing. So that is one of the pitfalls of Scorpio Venus in particular, but also Mercury in Scorpio because there's like a commitment before you even know. So that actually makes a lot of sense. So yeah, he looks like the King of Cups. He looks like someone who's like pouring out his love. Um, and it makes sense with please, please, please. Like she was basically saying, like, don't make a fool of me, because I think on some level, woman's intuition, Sabrina Carpenter knew that maybe this was a little bit too good to be true. And I think it was, wasn't it? Okay, let's get another card for Barry Keoghan's red flags. What makes him an alleged man-child? I was in a mood when I came up with this idea. Oh my God. I was like, let's do something spicy. Okay, let's see. His red flags. The Queen of Pentacles. Sometimes he goes for the women that he sees as really successful. He's attracted to, oh, that makes sense. Venus and Scorpio. Attraction to power, to success. So yeah, I think that he is really attracted to women who are very powerful, are very successful, and that can be a little bit of it, you know what I mean? Which also would explain the King of Cups, like slight superficiality, because he's sort of falling in love with like an idea of a person and not a person. So, like with Sabrina Carpenter, he was probably just like so enchanted by how successful she is and how beautiful. And like when he went to go see her performing on stage, all the fans cheering for her. I think he really is that kind of person that can get caught up. But yeah, Queen of Pentacles, he likes a woman with success and money. And for that to be in the red flag reading, that would mean that sometimes he might be a little too superficial in what he's going for instead of choosing someone who's truly compatible with him. Ew, yikes. Okay. Okay. This doesn't seem, honestly, it doesn't seem like sinister or like bad intentioned. It just seems like someone who gets really caught up and maybe doesn't know themselves yet, doesn't quite understand what it is they truly want and need? Okay, what are you guys saying? Hold on. Babalu says, not uncommon for kids who go through loss and trauma and bounce through foster care to quickly attach. Oh my God, Babalu, fall in love, yet be avoidant. Okay, I get that. Sending mixed messages, hot and cold kind of thing. Not necessarily malicious, 100%. Babalu, I was literally just saying the same thing before I even pulled the card. I agree. I do think that it is, I don't get a malicious vibe from him at all. I think it's really like he needs to just get to know himself better, because until he does that, he's going to keep inadvertently hurting people. Like it's not intentional at all. He just needs to know what he really is compatible with? Oh my God. Sad. Okay. Oh, if the love bombing is there, you should run immediately. Gunyar says, yeah, I think that's a good point. I think you should definitely take it slow. If someone starts love bombing, don't be afraid to just slow it down a little bit. It's important to get to know people and vice versa. They need to get to know you too. Okay, very interesting. So that is Barry. Okay, moving on. Oh my God, it's already been 34 minutes. Like, this podcast episode is supposed to be 30 minutes long. I literally can't only record for 30 minutes. Like, what? We're barely warmed up. But we do have two more man children to discuss. So, Luke Newton, Gunyar, this one's for you. Now, all of the readings that we have done about Luke, you know, I definitely think that we've noticed that he doesn't quite express himself fully, and I do think that that also hurts people. I think it confuses people. I think he doesn't always quite, yeah, he's not always as honest as maybe he needs to be. So let's look at his birth chart placements. So we do not have his birth time, but we still can get quite a few good placements that can tell us a lot about him. So first of all, he was born on February 5th. Five energy is about freedom and the five senses. Okay. I'm sensing some sort of pattern here. It's giving wands, it's giving freedom, five senses. These are the free spirits. The man children are the free spirits. They do not want to settle down at this time. That's the vibe I'm getting. Okay, his sun is in Aquarius. So similar to what I was saying about Sean's Aquarius moon, and Aquarius sun can also be slightly detached. Sometimes they just want to do their own thing. They're in their head a lot. His moon is in Cancer. Again, so there's that mix. Like I was telling you guys, like how sometimes what can come across as toxic, it can be a real dissonance between different parts of the birth chart that haven't been integrated yet. And he's still young. Like he was born in 1993, so he's still like relatively young. So hopefully with time, he will be able to integrate that Aquarius sun, which can be more cerebral, less touchy-feely. So when you first meet him or you're in a room with him, hanging out with him, you would probably like kind of see him as someone who isn't super warm, like maybe someone who comes across as standoffish a bit, someone who's a little quirky, probably very interesting to talk to, someone who, when you do take the time to talk to them, they have interesting things to say, interesting takes, philosophies, insights on things, hobbies that you may not expect. So, definitely a fascinating person to spend time with and to be friends with. Um, but then when you get to know him better, let's say you became his close friend like Nicola or dated him, that's when the Cancer moon would come out. And depending on how much he's able to really be open, Cancer crabs, they can be super sweet and nurturing. It's just what you got to look out for is them going into the shell and closing down. That's when you lose them. So with him, I don't know. There's like a mix of cold and also warm. So definitely, if you can get to the point where you're close enough to see the Cancer moon, there's that sweet, gooey center that I think people probably really love about him, which is why I think Nicola is such good friends with him. It's probably why Antonia is so serious about dating him. Like, I think that he is someone who's able to easily attract relationship partners because of his nature, but I don't think that he's really for everyone. So he's actually kind of different than these other guys. I don't see him as a Casanova type, more of a very highly complicated personality. So maybe it's just like only very specific people would actually be suitable because you have to have a mix of kind of the same energy of very cerebral, but also very warm, but not overly smothering with the Cancer moon because they want to be loved, but also like you got to have kind of a light touch, a light hand with them. You don't want to send them running into the shell. So it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But again, very rewarding if it does work out. Let's see. What do you guys think? Chrissy says Sabrina told Rolling Stone in her interview that she got inspired to write Manchild after she finished writing the album Short and Sweet. Chrissy, it seems like that was around at the time that she may have been breaking up with Barry Keoghan, although people say that it's actually about Shawn Mendes. So, like, and that's what we got I think when we did the last reading on them. So, very interesting. What? Gunnar says, okay, my man is coming. Here we go. That's right. He's an Aquarius sun, Leo rising, Cancer moon. All I know is that. Well, that's a lot to know. The thing is, he said he doesn't like hugging or being touchy. Oh my God. That is literally the Aquarius sun. But he also said he likes it with Nick. Yep. Because that's like she's gotten past the outer layer to the Cancer moon. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Hugging and being touchy. Also, when she touches him, he's totally okay with that because she's like a close enough person. Like he's not the type like some of these other guys who like to peacock around. Like no matter how innocent Shawn Mendes tries to appear, I'm just gonna say my opinion is that he is a peacock. He loves to strut around. He loves the attention and from everybody. And that's fine. That's who he is. You just have to be the kind of person that's compatible with that. I don't see Luke Newton that way at all. I think he's like that kind of reserved, not for everybody, but the people that he's for, like really love him. And he feels the same way about other people. Like I don't think he has like a ton of friends or gets along with everybody. I think he's kind, but I don't think he's like drawn to everybody. But the people that he really does click with, I think he's very loyal and will give them a hug or whatever. So that's really funny that you say that. That makes a lot of sense with this birth chart. It really does. They all have the same thing in common. Penny, what is that? Okay, Gunnar says also people are saying he is emotional and sensitive, empathetic, even though he seems cold and distant from the outside. Okay, there you go. It's giving Aquarius sun, Cancer moon. Julie says, as a Cancer sun, that makes a lot of sense. Ooh, interesting, Julie. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. And by the way, I love all zodiac signs. We all have our quirks, and that's what makes us like different and special. But when we're talking about Manchild, we're just going to snark along for a little fun. Okay, next we have Justin Bieber. I know, you guys, why are we talking about Bieber so much? I just wanted to look at his birth chart from this perspective. Um, because we have talked about him a lot, but he's been more and more open about, his struggles. He just posted, I think, was it today or yesterday, about struggling with anger and different things like that. And I haven't really looked at his birth chart like from that perspective. So this is more of just like a little case study. Oh, wait, I didn't pull a card for Luke Newton. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's pull a card for Luke Newton before we move on. Can we look at Luke's overall energy? Luke to be together with Nick. Okay. Okay. We'll pull one to see where he's at in his love life in general right now. Okay, Gunyar, we'll do that. Okay. So first of all, though, let's do his red flags. So what are Luke Newton's alleged red flags according to the Tarot T? What are the red flags that people know about who actually have dated him or know him well? What are his red flags? Okay. Whoa. Not three coming out at the same time. We're going to take them. Okay. Sorry. Okay. He's a complicated one. Ladies, beware. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Like, this is a lot. This is a lot. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Lover's card in reverse. And the Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay. All right. So we've gotten all of these cards, oddly enough, for other man children that we have been reading on. This is super bizarre. But they all came through in reverse. I don't know if I just flipped my deck by accident or what the heck. I must have. That is so bizarre. Like I said, he's not like the other guys. It's very different. So it makes sense that these cards would come through in reverse. So here is his red flag. He doesn't necessarily, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, he doesn't necessarily like to be with a powerful woman. I think he gets intimidated by powerful women, aka who has come through as a powerful woman, actually as the Queen of Pentacles several times in our readings, Nicola Coughlan. Sometimes I think that what intimidates us in life is what we really want and need the most. Not sometimes. I actually think that that's probably true, like almost 100% of the time, that what we're afraid of, within reason, as long as it's not like dangerous or crazy, but what we're afraid of or what intimidates us yet fascinates us is what we just don't feel that we're capable of. Like, he just feels like these people are not on his level. So it's more of a self-confidence thing. Again, we always get this with him. So he thinks that he doesn't want to be with a really powerful person. He wants to be with someone that he sees as like, more on his level or even someone that he feels more successful than. Not judging, I'm just reading the cards. But yeah, so that's a red flag. People see that as a red flag for him. And I do too. I mean, that's a red flag. The Lovers in reverse. He Okay, this is like and that with the Seven of Wands in reverse. So with Barry Keoghan, we had like this opposite energy of being someone who is a social butterfly, a flirt, has a lot of irons in the fire. This is the opposite. He doesn't have any irons in the fire half the time. I think it was probably a real surprise when he started dating Antonia. I know that you guys have told me before about like ex-girlfriends that he's dated. So maybe he's like a serial monogamist, but there is a part of him, I think, that even when he's in a relationship, he can be a little MIA. He's not super partnership oriented all the time. He needs a lot of alone time. He needs a lot of space to think and to do his own thing. And again, that's not, and I don't think it's like because he's like cheating or anything. I just think he is a very like independent, cerebral person. So it's going to take the right type of person to be able to be with him, who's also like got a lot of their own stuff going on. Like, this is the kind of person that would probably do really well in a long distance relationship because and like I said, he's not cheating or anything. He's just like, well, allegedly, he's just like I want to go and read this book, or I'm really fascinated by, learning Tai Chi right now. And I want to go do it for like 5 hours on a Sunday. Like, so it's just like, it's sometimes hard for him to have room for someone else. So it's just sort of a lack of being social, a lack of a desire to have a companion at times. Interesting. I did not see that one coming at all. Okay. Okay. Run. Too many reverses going on, Claire. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's a lot of reverse energy. Oh my God, Claire, that was so funny. I don't think Antonia wants to catch Luke. She wants to be famous. Ooh. Okay, Pat. Interesting. Any way she can. That would be a major red flag there. Let's see. Okay, and then for you, Gunyar, we're gonna really quickly pull a couple of cards to see could he end up with Nicola? Honestly, I don't think so, because, or at least not right now with where his mindset is, because she's the Queen of Pentacles and he is afraid of the Queen of Pentacles. He runs from the Queen of Pentacles in any sort of deep relationship. So I don't know. We'll just pull for that whole situation, like where he is right now. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, yes. So his comfort zone is working with people, creating things with people, collaborating with them. I almost feel like, getting this card, especially on the heels of those other three reverse cards, I think that in a way he values his friendships and his like work collaborations in a way that is like on par with his romantic relationships. You know how like a lot of people will like elevate their romantic relationship above like their coworkers or their friends, and that's like their one most special relationship. With him, that's not the case. And that's not surprising given his Aquarius energy, because Aquarians, they're about the collective, they're about humanity. They do tend to have a lot of friends of different walks of life, and they value people just for being people, and like they really enjoy humanity basically. Like, so for him, I feel like he just really enjoys, like, at this moment in time, working with her, being around her. It keeps the situation uncomplicated. I do think there is a real fear of getting involved any deeper with someone that he views as that Queen of Pentacles. I think in his mind, taking things to the next level would ruin it, or very likely could ruin it. And so it's almost even better to have this strong friendship, to have this strong working relationship where they can possibly even collaborate on projects in the future, maybe even write something together or produce something, or like you never know down the line, also be cast in something together again. So for him, he sees that as like more long lasting. Um, yeah, very interesting. Very, so that is almost like his little insurance policy to make sure that they always stay in each other's lives. Very interesting. It's a little bit avoidant. It's a little bit of like an avoidant attachment style. Hmm. Weigh in, you guys, if you're getting a vibe on that. But that is interesting. Okay. So that's what I have for you there. All right. Justin Bieber, God bless him. He's going through it right now. I think we all see that. We've discussed that extensively. But I do want to look at where exactly his struggles could be coming from in his birth chart. Like, what are the things he needs to overcome, basically? It's just, yeah, there's a lot going on. So for him, sorry, I'm like drinking so much water. We just went and had Mexican food before this, and it was like so salty. Sorry, I'm like dying of thirst now. But it was good. It was really good food. Okay, so he has, first of all, his Pisces sun. So when you meet Justin, right off the bat, he has a dreamy quality to him. You can probably tell that he is kind of in his own world. So this is someone who walks in a room and they probably are kind of like looking around a little bit, like they're talking to you, but then they're also um like kind of like looking at that light over there because it's really pretty. And then they're also like, it's like this, I get this like feeling of like very kind of soft spoken conversation, and just very interested in many things at once. Pisces is the fish moving in two different directions. So there's a dreamy quality. There is sort of a otherworldly quality. So I definitely think that he's someone who kind of goes with the flow. He comes swimming into the room. And I definitely think people have to try to sort of keep up with him, whether it's his train of thought or, what he feels like doing next. I think he kind of goes with his own flow. And sometimes that flow is moving in opposite directions. So that's his sun sign. So very mutable, just kind of flowing through life. And you get that feeling when you're around him. Um, which I do think can be very comforting for people. Pisces sun energy can be very non-judgmental, so people feel comfortable in his presence. Then the moon is in Libra. So, like I said, this is a very popular placement for the man children because Libra is the charmer, the Casanova. The card that is associated with Libra is that Knight of Cups, bringing you the cup. It's the knight in shining armor with a gift or an offering. So it's definitely like a very lovey-dovey, romantic sort of moon sign to have. They fall in love sometimes, multiple times in one day. You know what I mean? So if you're the man-child variety of Libra. So he has that going on, coupled with a Pisces sun that's already dreamy. So this is like really, really like, I mean, he's got this watery energy of on the surface seeming very, very emotional and kind of like wearing his heart on his sleeve. And you're kind of trying to keep up with the conversation. But then once you get to know him better, the Libra moon, it's like very charming and can be, because it's an air sign, it can be also hard to pin down and very like changeable, like moving with the wind. So this is another person that could just slip right through your fingers. Like the second you think that the relationship is serious, you're like, where'd they go? Oh, if you're Selena Gomez, what is like a month later? Maybe he just is marrying somebody else now. Like it's a lot to keep up with, okay? It's a lot to keep up with, almost impossible. You would have to be very, very laid back and I think self-focused and strong to be with someone like this if they were in the man-child stage of their life. Okay, he has his Venus in Pisces, so even more like, oh my god, even more nebulous, hard to pin down, like, oh my god, like oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot, you guys. The Pisces energy, I'm like drowning. I'm drowning in the feelings. So I do think that when he talks about his feelings, I think he can be overwhelmed by his feelings because he has a lot of Pisces. And that actually makes a lot of sense. It can be hard to swim through those deep waters. He has his North Node in Scorpio, so he's actually supposed to be a truth teller, which is why I hope that he gets, if he is struggling with some substances or whatever, I hope he gets that sorted out because other than that, he is meant to be a truth teller. He is meant to expose things that are in the darkness. And that is the darkness of Hollywood, things that he's been through, trauma. I mean, Scorpio North Node addresses all those things, does not shy away from the truth. So there is a part of what he's doing that I think is very much, you know, on the right track with his North Node. But the issue is until he like gets out of the man child whatever phase, he can be really self-destructive. And that is what you have to look out for with all these placements. So his red flags, self-destructive. Self-destructive, changeable from one day to the next, hard to pin down, hard to understand. Mars and Mercury in Aquarius. So I think that the way that he thinks about things, I mean that there's a real tension there between the way that he's able to think and calculate things. Because if you look at Aquarius, it's like associated with like technology. So Mercury and Aquarius would be like having this perfect plan in your mind. Like this is what's going to happen here at this stage, that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It also makes sense why his Skylark brand looks so futuristic. I haven't thought of that before. Yeah. Mars and Mercury and Aquarius. He loves that futuristic stuff, that futuristic look, that feel, technology, like what's coming next. So maybe that'll be really good for him. It'll give him a sense of purpose. But when he is thinking and the Mars energy, if he's angry, there can be this ability to like detach and cut off his Pisces sun, Libra moon, Venus and Pisces emotions. So this is someone who really has multiple sides to their personality. That's the red flag there too. Like if you've never seen this person get angry, you would probably think that they're not capable of being angry. But what you don't realize is if you get them upset enough, Mars and Aquarius, they can become the coldest person you've ever met. Like you're like, "What? Where did this come from? Who are you?" Because it's so different. It's such a different energy than his sun and his moon and his Venus. So especially for someone who's dating him, I'm sure that's very jarring. And I'm sure he's someone that like has a list of things that he lays out in this cold, calculated, honest, sort of way. Yeah, yeah. Wow. It's complicated. I will say it's complicated. His chart and Luke Newton's chart, complicated in different ways. Okay, what are you guys saying? Let's tap in with what y'all are saying. Oh my God. Gigi says, as an Aquarius sun, I relate to the need to have time by yourself. Okay, cool. As an Aquarius rising, I can also relate to that. Like, we actually have a joke. I think I've told y'all this before. I don't know. We actually have a joke in our household that Michael made this up, by the way. I would not have made this up. It's called MFO time, which is Michael like F off time, which is when I'm like busy working on something or like researching for an interview or, coming up with pitch materials or like whatever the heck my project is this week, with my Aquarius rising. Trust me, it's always something. So he made that up as a joke because he knows that I like need time to like do my little projects and like I'll be like deep in thought and I just want to kind of be in my little office doing my thing. So I totally relate as well. I think it's a red flag for the wrong person, but for the right person, it's fine. So there you go. Yeah, we're all a little bit of a red flag at times. Okay, Gunnar says he doesn't want to lose her. Oh, the moment he feels Nick is being cold to him, he's doing anything to get her back. Well, that's the thing, right? With all of that, the differing energies in his birth chart. So I think he's still kind of at war within himself. Hopefully he'll get to the place where he knows what he wants, and then hopefully all the man children get to the place where they know what they want. Then, you just are being who you are, and other people can either accept it or not. I think the man child trope comes from like not knowing who you are, maybe like not being 100% honest, and then people get hurt. And then you get kind of a label. Claire says, poor Justin praying for him. I know. I know. Me too. I think he's really going through it right now. Also, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Gunyar says Luke was following Justin for a long time. He unfollowed him, I think, over road being sold, and people immediately noticed that. What? That is so odd. Do you think he was afraid of Haley? Her being now Queen of Pentacles and him having a fear of Queens of Pentacles? Maybe it's a phobia. I'm kidding. Gigi says, interesting how watery his chart is and his moon, his emotion is in an air sign. Yes. Yes. So there's a battle between his intense emotionality and creativity. And, with Venus and Pisces, those people can be the most loving, like, okay. And I'm going to say this too. Venus in Pisces, if there is one zodiac sign, when Venus falls in that sign, that can truly be an everlasting, undying love. Like, and I mean, this is beyond allegedly, like beyond healthy love. Like, I'm not talking about just like having unconditional love for people that I'm talking like would go to the ends of the earth for someone, even if they were hurt by them, even if they were wronged. Like, it's because Pisces is like between this world and the next. It's that supernatural kind of feeling. So there is this, I don't know, it's like this other level of consciousness. Okay. Once a Venus and Pisces person truly falls in love, like real love, they allegedly, for entertainment purposes, they never, ever let that person go in their heart of hearts. And this is why, and I might get hate for saying this because I know everybody's so tired of this, and I do get it. Trust me, like, please, this was so long ago. We've got to grow up and let it go. But based on what I know about astrology, um, the reason I think that so many of the Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber rumors have continued like even right now, like, and they haven't dated since they were basically kids. Um, it's because I do think that was both of their first, like, really major, like, true love experience. And with Justin having his Venus in Pisces, because he really loved her, even though he was super young and he didn't know himself. And I think he messed it up because of his age, the industry, his trauma, what he was going through, right? Not judging that part. But I think that he messed it up. And so there is a part of him, even as he grows up and, lives his life and is a father and is married and all of that. And hopefully is building a very happy, healthy life with, the people that he is around right now. I think that there's a part of him that will always have pain over that, whatever that looks like, because it is just a well-known thing about Venus and Pisces. Like if they love you, they really truly will love you forever and ever and ever and ever. So that's my 2 cents on that. But it's very intense, it's very deep, it's very beautiful, but it can also be very painful for people who are experiencing that. Let's see. Gigi says probably has trouble connecting to them in a non-rational way. Ah, yes, yes, with the air sign moon. Yes, people with their moon in an air sign, they can sometimes struggle with, um, yeah, with a little bit of detachment at times. Like, and I think a little bit of detachment is probably healthy. I say this as a Scorpio moon with no chill, no detachment. My Aquarius rising is constantly having to coach up my Scorpio moon to like it's okay. But I think that it can be a struggle for different reasons because for those people, it's like sometimes, they can detach from things and it's, like, hard for them to, like, okay, like, try to empathize with certain situations, and it can just feel difficult for them. Yeah, air sign moons, sometimes that is a real thing that they kinda go through. Okay, let me see. We're gonna pull a couple cards for him, and then we're gonna do last but not least, I saved the biggest man child for all, John Mayer, who has just I mean, how many scandals? How many of our favorite women's hearts has he broken? Taylor Swift, Jessica Simpson, the list goes on. I should have put Leo on this list as well, but this podcast episode is getting way too long. We could always do this again sometime. There are so many man children that don't worry, we'll never run out. But okay, so we're gonna pull a couple for Justin. Spirit, let's keep it nice and light though, because he's going through a lot. So just I hesitate to even do this, but we'll just pull a couple little, I don't know, maybe instead of saying his red flags, his struggles or something. We'll say it like that. Let's see. Oh my God, JDK, that is the funniest thing ever. JDK said you should buy 3 letters as fridge magnets. And when he sees MFO on there, he'll know what's up. There you go. We've taken it to another level now. Just put it on the fridge. Oh my God, and then he'll know. That is so funny. And honestly, thank goodness. Michael has a Libra sun, Taurus rising, Virgo moon. And because I have a Virgo sun, he gets me. Thank God. He gets me. And so he's like, she doesn't need anything by it. She just needs her time, her Aquarius time to go tinker with something or, do a deep dive research on some obscure topic that she'll probably never think about again after today. So God bless him. Truly, there is someone for all of us. Okay, for Justin, let me see. His struggles. Page of Cups. Okay. So sometimes when it comes to love, there can be a little bit of an immature way of looking at things. So he is here to grow through that. He's here to grow. He's here to learn how to be better when it comes to love. And he's even talked about that on his social media and he's shared that even in his interviews. Again, I don't get a sense from him that he's a bad person. I mean, quite the opposite. Like a lot of the interviews that I've seen him give where he's talked about his trauma or about Billie Eilish, how he wants to look out for her. Like there is a true kindness that I see within him and a true honesty. Scorpio North Node, he's been really real, especially like lately since his Saturn return about things he's been through and about like how sometimes, he struggles with self-worth and like that's actually something that is probably really helpful for a lot of people to hear, just to be everyone to be more real about what they go through. Like we all feel like that sometimes. So I don't think he's like a bad person in any way. Page of Cups, though, I just think that he is developing some maturity around the way that he handles romantic relationships or his romantic relationship, which makes sense. Okay. Oh, yeah. Who knows? Okay, let's see. What else? Then we'll move on to John Mayer as our final man child. Probably the biggest of all. Definitely the biggest man child of all. I'm sorry. I do not. I think that he is a little sinister, probably. Okay. The page. Wow, we have 2 pages here. Okay. So this makes sense. Again, if you think about the pages in the tarot, pages there's nothing bad about page energy. It's literally just immature. Um or energy that needs to mature. I'll say it like that cuz that sounds a little bit more accurate. Um when people go through a lot of trauma at a young age, you guys have probably heard this too, there can be this like little feeling of like their growth being stunted, or they can struggle with certain emotions or different like milestones in life, and it can take them a little bit longer to catch up, and that's their own timing, because they're working on different things at this point in life. And for him getting 2 pages, Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, it's almost like he is starting now from where we all kind of started when we were like 16 years old. But since he was very, very famous as a teenager, it was like he got kind of stuck and stunted at that age. And he's just now, with his Saturn return really kicking off his maturity and having a child of his own and questioning, who he wants to be as a man, as an adult, as a husband, as a father, you know, drawing boundaries with the paparazzi, with Scooter Braun, with like all these people that have been in his life since he was a literal child. So he wasn't really able to develop and mature in the ways that people who didn't grow up in that circumstance were able to. Like, most of us were able to kind of develop our own mind and have our own ability to make decisions. And we didn't have people telling us what to do all the time. We didn't have handlers around us controlling our schedule every single second of the day. And then go to parties where we were like exposed to things that we shouldn't have seen at that age. So for him, it's like just there's been sort of this like overload, and he's kind of catching up. So he's catching up when it comes to Page of Pentacles. This is like stability. Pentacles is it's earth sign energy. So it's stability, developing stability, learning how to have a stable family life and a stable sense of self as well. And then the Page of Cups, this is like emotions, like learning about emotions, how to express emotions, how to have conversations with people when you're feeling upset, how to not lash out, you know, how to love. So yeah, he's just kind of starting from a different place. And so it's taken him a little time to catch up. But I do think that he's trying, and that's what counts. So sending him love and hoping that, he just keeps on growing and growing and finds his happiness. Cause yeah, everybody deserves that. Okay. Last but not least, oh my God, by any means, John Mayer. Born on October 17th. So, first thing I noticed about him, 17, that is a 7 energy. I talk about MFO time as a joke. 7 energy would be like the definition of MFO time, because 7 energy is very independent, but they like to also sort of like delve into different things. Like this is someone who would really love like probably traveling alone, doing things alone. 7 energy enjoys the company of others, but definitely doesn't need them. So just from his birth date alone, there's a little bit of a tendency to be like that. Oh my God, yeah. Gigi John Mayer is the greatest of them all. He really is. He really, really is. Oh my God, Gunyar says John Mayer has dead eyes, no emotions behind it. So he's the most dangerous for sure. For sure. People have said that he has shark eyes. And looking at this photo, uh yeah, guys, there's nobody home. There is nobody home. Like, okay, it's feeling sociopathic, but we'll look at his chart and see what's going on. Okay, wait, Gigi says Libra, shocker. I'm telling you, you guys, Libras, in my humble opinion, can be the best of the best, truly about harmony and justice and all of the positive qualities of Libra, and like charming and well dressed and just wanting you to be happy, and like Michael. We'll put Lawyer Moog in that category. Or they can be the worst of the worst because they can have all of those qualities outwardly and they know how to play the game, But if they're not actually like, a good person deep down, they can be the type to like use it for manipulation and then pull the rug out from under you. It's almost like it's a power to be a man with a Libra sun energy. And if they don't use it responsibly, they break a lot of hearts. And I think that's what John Mayer has done. I haven't heard anything about John Mayer in forever. I know, me either. What is he even doing these days? LMAO. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys. And my red flag is that apparently I get tired now at 10 p.m. Okay. Well, this is the last one. So he's a Libra sun. So we already said the Casanova type. No surprises there. Sagittarius moon. Please. You're never gonna pin this one down. Are you kidding me? He will, if he gets married, like I don't even know. Like, I'll eat my hat. Like, if he gets married, I'll be so shocked. A Libra sun, Sagittarius moon man, like he's a charmer. This is like somebody, I don't know, who would just like sail around the world and have like a woman at every port, as they say. This is like somebody who they don't care. Like, I'm sorry that he doesn't care. He just doesn't. I Mercury and Libra. Are you kidding? What's that like sound on TikTok? It's like Beelzebub or whatever, like the different names for like the devil. Like, I'm sorry, that's what just popped into my head. Like, it's bad. Okay, we're not going to sugarcoat this one. It's bad. Venus in Virgo. Okay, let me tell you a little something about Venus in Virgo. Venus is in its detriment in Virgo. I know. I hate to say it because as a Virgo sun, that makes you a little sad. But yeah, Venus isn't happy in Virgo because Virgo is all about picking things apart. Sorry, especially like in the negative sense. Like if we're talking about red flags, like negative Virgo energy is like that would be someone that picks everything apart and can never be satisfied with anything because they can see all the flaws. Now, Jessica Simpson, when she talked about her experience with John Mayer, it was actually super sad because she shared that she never felt like she was smart enough or good enough around him. And she was trying to like read books. She dyed her hair dark, like just trying to like appear more like intellectual to be accepted by him. Like that is honestly, that's the saddest thing. Like that breaks my heart because she is wonderful and fabulous as she is. She didn't need to do that. He has his Mars in Cancer, which, I mean, how toxic is that? That he's attracted to Jessica Simpson. I'm sorry, this did turn into a Jessica Simpson mini reading. Mars in Cancer means that he's super attracted to Jessica Simpson because of her Cancer sun. And Mars is like what you're really attracted to, like who you want to date, like, oh my God, you want to, it's like that kind of passion energy. So I think he was very passionate about her, which he talked about in a rude way. Um, we all remember that interview. But at the same time, Venus in Virgo at the 29th degree, the anaretic degree, which is like the height, like the anaretic degree is like the crescendo of the energy. So this is like the most critical you can be, the most like potentially puritanical about certain things. It's giving weird. Okay. It's also giving weird complex, maybe. So this is like, I'm so attracted to this person, but I also like don't like them at all because they're not good enough for me. How toxic and like, I'm sorry, that's like evil. That is so toxic. How could you hold those two thoughts at the same time? I'm sorry, but I do think that he possibly could. And I think he did with Jessica Simpson. Okay. He has his midheaven in Cancer. So this is what also makes him particularly toxic as a walking red flag man child. Your midheaven is the way that people perceive you. So like before we all knew about John Mayer, we saw that this was a man who was soft-spoken and played a guitar and sang songs like Your Body is a Wonderland, just like, wow, how romantic is he? How soft-hearted and just the way that he sings and the way he speaks about women, like, wow, that he really has an appreciation. That's the Cancer midheaven. So you think, if you don't know who he is, if you don't know anything about him, you think, "Oh my God, truly someone who can appreciate me, someone who loves women and appreciates women." And then you get to know him, and it's like Libra sun, Casanova. He's giving you flowers. He's asked you on a date. He's telling you you're the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. Then you wake up the next morning, Sagittarius moon. Where'd he go? I don't know. You're blocked on his phone. Like, I'm telling you, you guys, this is This is the most toxic red flag chart I've ever seen when looking at it through this lens. It's so funny. Mercury in Libra, he also thinks like a Libra. So he's always thinking about and plotting ways to seduce and like probably paying attention to like what you like and then, just happen he just happens to have gotten you this as a gift and like but it's someone who observes and who manipulates allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Okay, what are you guys saying? I went in on that one. Because I could just so see it in his chart. Okay, Gigi. Ooh, Gigi's spilling some tea. Gigi says, I once dated a Cancer sun with a Libra moon. Very sweet, very womanizer. Dun dun dun. Gigi, I'm happy to see that you have moved on from that and have made a full recovery, I'm sure. But yeah, very womanizer. Like, totally. Oh my God. I'm glad you made it through. Cancer, Sun, Libra, Moon. There you go. It's just the combination of Cancer energy and Libra energy. It's very charming and seemingly very sweet, but could be very manipulative depending on the person. Yeah, the dead eyes are a sign of narcissism, JD Kate says. Okay, I could totally see that. Also, these are placements of narcissism as well, like the combination of it all. Me too, but I'm tired. Yeah, Penny, we got to go to bed soon. It's almost time for us to hit the hay. Um, we getting sleepy. Wait, what did Claire say? Oh my God. I think I missed it. Okay. Chrissy says John Mayer is what, 47 years old? Does anyone know for sure? Let's see. John Clayton Mayer is an American recording artist and producer born in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Isn't that like a really wealthy area? So, little silver spoon. He was born in 1977, October 16th, 1977. Can't do the math, but if anybody else can do the math, let us know. Let's see. Yeah, he's definitely too old to be a man child. We'll say that. Can you do Billy Ray Cyrus, Ultimate Man Child, and Liz Hurley's new boot? Okay, we'll do that one last, which is right now. Wait, Jade and Nick's current boyfriend, Jake, is also having dead eyes. Oh my God, stop, Queen. He does not. All of them are love bombing secret narcissists. Okay, well, keep an eye out for him. Is he dating anyone right now? Name to please. Is John Mayer dating anyone right now? I don't know. Let's ask. I don't think so. Or maybe I don't know. Is John Mayer dating anyone? Elevator music. 3 days ago, guys, how funny is this? Literally, and I quote, I'm not dating anybody. And he made it clear that despite his past, he still thinks he's husband material. As he put it, I'm a catch. And John has been thinking about tying the knot for years. 3 days ago, this came out. Guys, we got to read this article. I'm sorry. This is nuts. What are the odds? The man-child syndrome is so intense that Spirit is wanting to put it out there on this podcast episode. Okay. E-News. Out of nowhere, you guys. On June 13th, 2025, give me a royal break. John Mayer shares what he's seeking in a wife with dating filtration system, and that's in quotes. Narcissist party of one. Are you kidding? If you name it your dating filtration system, you are a jackass. Okay. John Mayer revealed that while he's still single, you guys, I can't. This is the biggest man child I think that has ever lived. While he's still single, he's ready to be a husband. How are you ready to be a husband if you're single? Like he's just like who he thinks he is in his mind. And at this point, every girlfriend needs to be a potential wife. Shut up, John Mayer. I want to slap him. John Mayer is ready to be free falling for the right woman. The singer-songwriter recently shared that while he's currently single, he's absolutely ready to be a husband. And at 47 years old, he's taking it seriously. I would hope so. I would not. Okay, this is a quote from him, you guys. Try not to throw up. I would not date someone if it didn't have an upward mobility of becoming a marriage. Okay, welcome to the party. That's how most people think when they start dating someone serious. or seriously, John said on stage with Smartless podcast hosts Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes during a June 12th live event. It's giving desperate spiraling. Like, why are you saying all this on stage all of a sudden out of nowhere? And why is this an E! News article? Like, he wanted his publicist to put this out, allegedly. He's getting desperate. Okay. Every girlfriend would be a potential wife at this point. Okay. Nobody cares, Shawn Mayer. Will then noted how it can't be easy for him to date, to which John explained that running into challenges serves as a very good filtration system of selecting what's right, and that it will be easy when the right person comes along. He's the worst, you guys. He is literally the worst. John also alluded to his often criticized high profile dating history, which includes relationships with stars like Jessica Simpson, Cameron Diaz, Jennifer Aniston, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and more. Quipping, I'm older now. It's been a very long time since I had my own situation. I stay inside the house. Aren't I a good boy, America? I'm not dating anybody. Ew, he gives me the creeps. I can't even read it anymore. Like I feel sick. I'm so nauseous. He's nauseating. Oh my God, who would be with him? Okay, what are you guys saying? I literally feel sick after reading that. He's not okay. He's not okay. Okay, maybe he's past his man-child age. Are we talking about John Mayer? GG. I love you. But based on that article I just read, I think he's so deep in his man-child ways that he can't ever see the door. Like, he's never gonna get out. He thinks very highly of himself, and to the point where I just don't think he's ever gonna think anybody's good enough for him. It's like, okay, Captain Obvious. Like, anyone I'm dating, it's gotta be, marriage material for me. Like, I'm ready. I don't know. I think he's in love with himself. That's what I feel. My God. And my Mercury is in Virgo as well as my sun. So I can spot a little psychopath, okay? And I think that's him. Allegedly. He called it a situation. Thank you, Jaded Kate. Yes, he called it a situation, aka living your life. Like, are you okay, sir? Okay, it's future faking, it's narcissism. I do agree. I do agree. I do. I do. Okay, but we love you, Gigi, and we respect your take on things, of course. Sounds like his Venus in Virgo is acting up. LMAO. Yes, Gigi, I think you're right. I think his Venus in Virgo is like really showing its ugly side. Leo DiCaprio vibes. Yes, I think they're cut from the same cloth. Like, why aren't they best friends? Do they hang out? They probably do or should. Jaded is spilling facts. I know. Jaded always comes through with some facts. Thanks for to have to go to bed. I get it, Penny. Sweet dreams. And thank you again for donating for Jacob. We appreciate it so, so much. So much. And I'll keep you guys updated. Praying he finds his foster or adopter soon. My God. He's the best dog. Okay. Now, let's pull a couple cards. Honestly, just at this point, for the tea to be confirmed about John Mayer. Chrissy says, Britt. Yes, Chrissy. What? Can we also look very quickly at the end of the reading if Lucas has a chance together with Nick in the near future? Gunyar, for you, yes, I will. At the very end. Yes, I will. Because I know you love it. Okay. But back to John Mayer and his red flags. So, allegedly, for entertainment purposes, what are his red flags according to the tarot team? It's like I drop all the cards. It's like everything. Same here, Penny. Night night, everyone. Sweet dreams, all. Sweet dreams, Sage. Thanks for hanging out with us. Night night. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Aw. Thank you, Chrissy. We appreciate it. I didn't hold back. Sorry, Claire. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Maybe it's my Mercury and Sun in Virgo. I spotted his Virgo Venus being, I don't know. I felt the bullshit. Okay. Sorry. Oops. I'm going to put an explicit warning on this on Spotify. I'm triggered. I'm triggered by John Mayer. He just bothers me. Okay. Anyway. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to take whatever that was that kind of popped out. Best friend of the year awards the 6 of Wands as a red flag. Yeah. He acts like he's everybody's friend. But it's lies, guys. It's all lies. 6 of Wands. He's someone that approaches women like he wants to be their friend. But then before you know it, like he's just like He's like, "Oh my god, I just like I wanna be your friend. I think you're so amazing." And like he comes across as a good friend who like cares about you and like loves you and then gone. My god. That is really shady to use friendship to get, to get in the door with people when your intentions are less than honorable. So yeah, he plays like this weird friend card of like truly like seeing you and caring about you and like being on your side. Ew. Okay, what else? Then we started loving. Okay, Claire, good. Oh my god. Okay, weird. The strength card. Ooh, he does have a Saturn in Leo. Okay, the strength card has a red flag. With Saturn and Leo, this is a lot of pride because Saturn is like, this is like our life lessons, right? So he might be the kind of person that wants to be, not might, okay. I think he wants to be like the king of his own life. I mean, you guys kind of called it with the narcissism thing. Like he views himself as the king, and everybody else are just kind of like the little chess pieces on the board that he moves around. So this as a red flag, it's just like someone who is really kind of like just thinks of themselves as on this pedestal. Yeah, sort of like narcissism, honestly. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So narcissist who uses like fake friendship and really seeing you for who you are, like all of that kind of flowery, sort of superficial um speech to get you to whatever he's trying to do here with the 6 of wands, by the way. You know what he's trying to do. Okay, and last one. Last red flag. Oh, basically stalks and copies H. Bieber. Who? Sorry, tiny covert yawn. I'm wrapping this up because apparently I guess I'm really tired. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles, he loves money the most, guys. Okay, I was joking about dropping all the cards when I talked about the red flags. Did you I don't know if y'all could see, like, so it's kinda behind the computer. I just went like that with my hand, and I dropped all these cards. Guys, the red flags are too many to mention. You wanna know his red flags? It's this whole stack that I just dropped. God, I'm sorry. That is hilarious. Oh, and the tarot tea has a good sense of humor. Okay, thank you, Spirit, for making us laugh. Alright, the 10 of Pentacles, he loves money. He loves himself. He's got a huge ego. And he's willing to, say whatever he believes will um work to get his way. And I think he comes in through the friendship door. And then before you know it, you're stuck in this mess. And then apparently a lot more with that whole stack falling out. Like, oh my God. That was wild. Okay. And then to end things, I do need to wrap it up because I'm like starting to yawn and stuff, which is very rude. I'm sorry, guys. It's been very busy prepping for our trip and stuff, just like the list of things to do is so long. And with my Mercury and Virgo, I'm just like, I get psychotic at these times, trying to make sure I don't forget anything and like dotting all the I's, crossing the T's. So we're going to do for Gunyar to end everything. What was it that you wanted to know about? Okay. Oh, Tessa. That's the T right there. Jada Kate says too many red flags, way too many. Too many to count, too many to discuss. The whole dang deck just fell out. That is so appropriate though. I kind of love it. John Mayer, you do you, my friend. Just I don't know. Try not to hurt anybody else in the process. Maybe he'll find somebody else who's like his perfect counterpart who's like the same as him. Like that would be ideal. He needs to find a fellow dark-eyed narcissistic person who loves money and has a huge ego, and they can like live in next door neighbor houses together and pontificate about how fabulous they are. There you go. Someone for everyone. So I wish that for him. Leave the rest of the population alone. Okay. So Luke and Nick, is there any chance of them getting together in the near future? This one's just for you, Gunyar, and it's going to end our podcast episode. Let's see. Any chance? Eight of Pentacles. Well, we always get this for them. They're at work. Yes, as we know. if it's gonna happen, it's definitely gonna happen, like, at work, which we know that they work together. It would happen at work. It would also be something that is slow and developed over time because the 8 of Pentacles, if you look at it, this person is, like, really having to work to build this cake. You know, it's Oh, hi, I'm back. Sorry, you guys. Wait, that was insane. It just the internet just dropped right after I pulled the cards on Nick and Luke. So maybe that tells me that maybe you guys, um, maybe something's brewing right now as we speak. Maybe the energy was so intense it knocked out the internet. So I called Michael downstairs. I was like, "Did your internet just knock out?" And it didn't. He was playing this video game. So very weird. All right, we're gonna end on that note because the energy is just getting a little too insane over here. I'm back. I know. Thanks for waiting, guys. I was like, "Oh no." We were just ending and it just like dropped off. So sorry about that, y'all. Um, John Mayer does not have that kind of psychic powers. Oh my God, that is so funny. Stop. That is hilarious. Okay, you guys. Well, on that note, okay, good. I'm glad you got that note, Gunyar. Okay, on that note, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna get in bed. I hope you guys, do the same. If it's that right time for you of night as well. I don't know what time zone you're in. Claire Cardi, I hope you have an amazing day. Have the best day ever. Kick butt. Virgo. I know you're Virgo sun. Let's see. Mercury goes into Virgo as of the 17th. So since you guys are like a day ahead, does that mean that you're already, I'm sorry, not Mercury, Mars. See, I need to go to bed. Mars enters Virgo the 17th. So does that mean that you're already feeling the Mars energy? Let me know. Because Virgos, it's our time to get powered up. Oh no, John Mayer, Venus in Virgo. That's probably why, you guys, he's saying all this stuff because he's about to have Mars, the transiting Mars, conjunct his natal Venus. And that's like very like romantic and stuff. So he wants a relationship. He's like gearing up for this transit. Okay, we're probably going to see him come out with a relationship. Hopefully he finds that person that has the, matching shark eyes and they can just live their sharky life. Okay. Anyway, I digress. But if anybody would like to purchase a reading, head over to the community tab. All the details are there for the personal tarot tea. I'm doing $35 readings for your next 3 months. Basically, it's me spilling the tea for you, like your own little audio podcast recording about what to expect this summer. It's a fun little reading just meant to kind of empower you, lift you up, maybe spill a little silly tea, but it's definitely for fun. And all the money goes to Jacob, the dog that we pulled from the shelter to save him from being euthanized. Thank goodness we got that sweet little baby. And yeah, we are going to be paying for his boarding to keep him out of the shelter until we can find a foster or adopter because we just can't send him back to the shelter. So we got him, but he needs a little bit of support. So, okay, guys, I love you so much. If you want that reading, head over to the community tab or just DM me at Britt Madrid or email me, brittcardsandstars@gmail.com, and let me know you want a reading. Okay, guys, I love you guys so, so much. Have the best rest of your day. Have a good, sweet, well, thank you so much. I will. I'm going to knock out right after this. Like, I'm literally going to pass out in 2 seconds. Fitting my wedding ring today after work. Claire, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Yay. Claire, that is such Mars in Virgo energy. It's your time. It is your time. Enjoy it. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. That's really, really exciting. Sending you all the love. Okay, bye guys. Good night. Love y'all. Yeah, wishing all of you guys all that happiness. Y'all all deserve it. Okay, bye everybody. Talk to you soon.